don't know if it's a human condition so much as society. I think we have to split those two.
Yeah,
right. I think it's interesting. If you look at the happiness index that's done throughout North America, the lowest level index of happiness in the last 80 years, or 75 years, I think it is, I don't know the exact number, but a long, long time, was 2006, which was the peak in our economic well-being, supposedly, right? And I think part of the problem is that when we're in a season, right? So we were in a season of fall where you reap like crazy all the time, where it doesn't take a lot of effort, where everybody expects everything should be automatic. We've had that automated by the stage of the web over the last 20 years, getting to the point where I remember if I was a kid and I want to steal music, I had to take a risk, you know, not just took whatever you wanted and didn't have any thinking about it. So the world has changed where people expect everything instantly, often for free, without any effort. I should be able to go to a house with no money down, whether I can really afford it or not. That was the world we were in. And so, nature finds a way to balance itself out. So I think we're now hitting some tougher times, and I don't think they're over. I think we're in the middle of winter. I think winter can be happening and you have a beautiful sunny day outside. It's not all dark and gloomy, but you have to, I think the beauty of winter is people start to get to know each other. They start to ask what's really important. They start to not just run. They have to reflect because what they're doing isn't working. Otherwise, the technology takes us, right? We're not using the technology, the technology is using us. And I think the unhappiness I believe that you saw happening there and that you still see in a great number of people's lives is because people today tend to play life more shallow than deep. Like when people tell me I'm going to visit my friends and they're going to Facebook, I just think, get a life, you know what I mean? If your idea of connection and relationship is texting, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's the primary way you're staying in relationship with people. I think you forgot what a friend is. Those people aren't your friends. And so having a lot of people you barely know versus people you go deep with is not very fulfilling, but it keeps you busy. And especially when life is scary, what most of us want is a distraction. So in the past it was food and it was alcohol and drugs, those still exist, movies, shopping, whatever. Now we have the internet, we have the web, we have social media, and also people that feel out of control, they can pick up that little phone of theirs or the little computer and they can instantly have a sense of control. I get what I want, when I want it, I can say what I want to say, no one can stop me. You can burn people like crazy. In real life, if you try to burn somebody, there's a consequence, or at least a potential consequence. In the web, there's no consequence. So we have a bunch of people that have gotten addicted to a drug called technology. And that drug can also be a tool. It just depends on how we use it. If we use it as a drug, we pay the price and we feel that emptiness that you're talking about. So I don't think it's the human condition. I think we have created a culture where instantaneous gratification is the reward. And I think what's happening is the season's going to make us reevaluate that. Right? The season's going to make us look around and go, oh my God, this is not happening. Whenever you meet somebody, and I'm sure you've been probably many people in your life, and I've been a lot of people when they're dying, nobody talks about the cars or the homes or who they knew or Jessica Simpson and what she did. You don't hear any of that crap, right? What you hear about is certain moments in their life, relationships, some of the toughest times they push through that they're proud of. You hear them talk about growth, contribution, and relationships. That's what you really hear. You hear moments. And I think in winter, people connect to that. I mean, the good news about a bad economic time, and we're really not in a bad time yet. I think those times are still coming. Now, I'm not a fatalist. I'm just intelligent. Like anybody. You look at things and you go, okay, how much is, you guys know, how much is, if you know, don't say it, how much is a million seconds ago? Because most people think a million, a billion, a trillion. They throw around a trillion like it's pizza. They have pizza and they talk about spending a trillion in Congress. How much was a million seconds ago? Anybody know? If you know, don't say. Some of you may say one right now. Take a guess, and if you don't know, take a guess. How much would you guess?
Oh my God.
A million seconds ago.
A million seconds ago. 3 months ago. I have
3
no
months
idea.
ago. Not a bad guess.
5 hours.
5 hours ago. 5 hours ago, 3 months ago. 12 days ago. 12 days ago. So now, and by the way, there's no right or wrong. I just want to give a sense, though, we're all intelligent people, and how we have no connection to what's really happening, because we have words that we've heard so much that they're negated, and so we don't react or do anything about it. We just let the rest of the world take us on a ride. So if a million seconds ago was 12 days ago, when would a billion seconds ago be? If you know, don't answer. If you don't know, I'd like to hear what you guess. Since you're my victim today. You asked the questions.
A year and a half ago. I don't know.
A year and a half ago.
These are probably embarrassing answers.
12 days ago was a million. A billion would be. She's a year and a half ago. Someone else?
A month ago.
A month ago.
2 months ago.
2 months ago. 3 months ago. 32 years. 32 years ago.
Wow.
That's an difference between a million and a billion. Okay. So when someone says millionaires and billionaires, they're not in the same universe. Okay. But forget that story. Try the trillion number. $15 trillion of debt right now. 110, I think the last number is 117 trillion of unfunded liabilities. It means all our debt plus Medicare, plus Medicaid, plus Social Security that they've spent all our money on, other things. That's how much we really owe. So if 1 million seconds is 12 days ago and 1 billion is 32 years ago, when would a trillion be?
300 years.
300 years ago. Good guess.
What?
Take a guess.
4.
40 years ago.
250.
250 years ago. 32,000 years ago. 31,868, just under 32,000 years ago. It's when man wasn't known as man.
Oh, wow.
That's 1 trillion. You could literally, you could have been born in the time of Christ, and you could make $1 million profit, work on a business that made $1 million of profit every day, and go through these 2,000 years plus, and drive to today. You still wouldn't have $1 trillion if you made $1 million a day, every day, since the time of Christ. It'd take another century. Excuse me, I didn't say another century, another 1,000 years, not a century. That's wild. You could paper every road, every street in the United States 2 inches thick with dollar bills, and still wouldn't be $1 trillion. So we have 15 of those, or 100 of those. So anybody who's going to be deluded to say, oh, it's all okay now because unemployment's slightly higher because most people aren't looking and we don't count them if they're not looking, is in for a wild ride. And because we just printed $2 trillion of the money through the Fed recently. You know, the only reason we're still standing here, we're not Greece, is because we have the printing press and we won't forever. So when I look at those things, I say, when those things happen, people are going to start valuing their relationships again. You know, when those things happen, people are, you know, when it's beautiful, you don't care. When it's bad weather, everybody's got to come and work together to build the barn. And I think that's the beauty of winter. And winter doesn't have to be a bad time. Winter can be a great time. Winter can be, you know, some people freeze to death, other people ski, snowboard, spend time with their family, help each other. So I think every season has its purpose. So I think that some of the tools, the technology is going to help us during that time because people will help each other in a new way. I think that's where the technology will turn on in a positive way. But everything's how you use it. You know? So I guess that's a long answer for saying I think that the real problem is not humankind or the human condition. I think the real challenge is we just find different drugs, and technology, you know, most people's a drug, for other people it's a tool. You have to decide how to use it.